This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
I'd like to punch him in the face. What the hell is going on?
As it issued a heat wave warning for bank holidays weekend, the bank holiday weekend. The bank holiday weekend, the Met Office has warned the British public not to drink too much alcohol. They don't know us very well, do they? What a sense of humour. Health officials have issued a heat wave warning for the bank holiday weekend.
Warning, warning.
They're saying we might get highs of a scorching 33°C, which is over 100 degrees centigrade. And fact fans, as water boils at 98 degrees centigrade, that means it's going to be very, very hot indeed. Dangerously warm. Temperatures are expected to soar in the southeast of England on Saturday, where it's going to be hot as Honolulu, which is near Hawaii, wherever that is. Pack your jumpers in your old kit bag and smile, 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 everybody. A level 2 heat alert has been issued with a 70% probability of a heat health criteria being met between Saturday evening and Tuesday morning in parts of England. A Met Office spokesman said... I knew it was coming and it still made me laugh. He said high pressure will start to build over the south of England and temperatures are set to gradually rise into the weekend with the warmest temperatures in the south and the southeast of England. Listeners in Glasgow will get their own weather.
Correct.
I mean, I would check for you on my phone, but my phone doesn't work anymore. I've only just bought it. This is how stupid I am. I must have bought about 10 things that were second-hand lately. Every single one of them has broken. You'd think I'd have learnt my lesson. So I had a nice man come around in a van who were promised to fix my phone. And did he?
No.
No, he was out there for about an hour. Fiddling about with it. And it turns out that I bought my phone from Hong Kong, but it actually came from Latvia. Which should send alarm bells warning in my mind. So my phone came from Hong Kong because I bought it was cheap, right? Because 800 quid for a phone is just flat out stupid for a product that isn't a throwaway item. It comes with its own end best before date. Because they're going to release another one in a year and they'll say, oh, boy, you must be so embarrassed walking around with that old thing. Look at our new phone, it folds, or it's got 6 cameras, or it levitates, or it's urine proof. Which mine isn't, apparently. Because not only was it bought from Hong Kong via Latvia, but the battery inside it isn't the battery for the phone. They just smashed another battery into shape and put it in the phone. But not only that, but the back case isn't the back case for the phone. It's a back case for a completely different phone because it doesn't fit properly. Therefore, it's not urine resistant. You know, well, like water resistant. I don't know why I go urine, but water. Well, you drop it down the toilet mostly, don't you? Water resistant. You could squirt it all over it and never work again, which is actually the condition that it's in at the moment. It is about to never work again because I can't get it to charge. It won't charge, like it just won't charge. It just flat out refuses. Hell no, I won't go above 20%, it says. So there's another excellent purchase decision I've made this year. I might as well set fire to my money. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, a Met Office spokesman said maximum temperatures on Saturday are likely to be near the threshold for everyone to start panicking. But then you add that to the warm night, which is expected on Saturday night, and the Met Office spokesman said the resultant heat means that we're all going to die. So that puts that whole phone not working into perspective. That rant about my phone, by the way, was I would look up the weather for Glasgow, but I know that it would kill my phone. So all I've got now is a slab of glass that I just take around with me. It doesn't actually do anything. Forecasters said the warning system is an important alert. This heat weather warning system is an important alert for social and healthcare services who work to ensure swift action to reduce harm from a potential heat wave. That's what forecasters said. People, on the other hand, who don't believe in science, said that this is merely Project Fear. On Sunday and Monday, the record-breaking temperatures in the south could be as high as 91 Fahrenheit. Wow! And you multiply by 5 and divide by 9 and then take off 32 to get centigrade. So 91 times 5 is 1,115. And divide 1,115 by 9 is 28. And take off for 32 is minus 6. Wow. It's going to be minus 6 degrees Fahrenheit this weekend. Can you believe that?
No.
Greg, out of the Met Office, said we're going to see a jet stream move north, allowing the wind direction to change from westerly to southerly. Some warm air can flow north from the continent.
What?
Filthy European air. We don't need European air coming over here saving our summer. We'd rather freeze to death. Who's with me?
I'm a nutcase.
And this spell comes after 94 millimetres of rain, or about 3'6", fell across the UK between August the 1st and the 17th. That's 5% above the national average for the entire month. And in July, you remember, we experienced our, our hottest ever day, and July also broke global records as the warmest month ever. But it's got nothing to do with climate change. Assuming that you get all your news from Donald Trump's Twitter feed. Don't worry. When the tides rise, your ignorance will protect you. You can use your stupidity as a flotation device. We're all going down. So, would you like to know the weather forecast over the long range for the next month or so?
Negative.
Of course you would. End of this month, a split in the weather across the UK with dry, sunny conditions absolutely everywhere except Glasgow. And for the first, 3 weeks of September, almost all of September, well, spells of fine, dry, sunny weather, most prolonged in the south. Northern parts are likely to see more changeable conditions, though through this period with spells of rain and stronger winds. On the whole, temperatures will be closer to or slightly above average for the time of year. Slightly above average? We'll take it. Becky says, belated birthday wishes. I hope I had a good day. Yes, I did have a good day. Thanks, Becky. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Anushka. Steve tweets, all this global meltdown, Brexit, fires, warming, etc. Isn't it time to accept? Oh, I've been blindsided. Isn't it time to accept the Lord? Give Ken a call, says Steve. No, I won't. Nick, have you taken Jesus into your life? Why do you hate Jesus, Nick? I don't hate Jesus, Ken. I just hate you. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Paul texts, I thought the Irish backstop was a groovy dance move, and then I discovered the Nick Abbot habit. What, that's a groovy dance move? What do you mean? The Irish backstop? You mean I explain the Irish backstop? Like the Nick Abbot habit, the podcast that I do? Is educational. Does anybody believe that?
No.
And James says, are you near squirming with delight at the possibility of the impending heat? Yes. It arrived just in time to save the summer, because August has been pretty bad, let's face it. Pretty awful, August. Not much to write home about. Not even on a postcard. And just at the end, it's given us a revivification. Don't ask me to say that again. And Darren tweets, have you not heard the term buy cheap, buy twice? Is that the term? How about buy cheap, buy stupid? Every second-hand thing that I bought lately is broken. And don't even get me started on my car. 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. There's just so much to talk about tonight. It just boggles my mind. There's so much to talk about, but it's actually really on just two subjects. Guess which subject I'm going to be doing? A lot. So I'll come to him and it momentarily. But it's a good time to remind you about my podcast. This week, it's cows feature heavily. In fact, we go to war against cows. That cow menace. Oh, it's dealt with. Don't you worry about that. Full details in my Super Soaraway podcast, which is a half an hour of amusement. It's the best of this show, my favourite callers, and some extra bits squeezed in there as well. It's called the Nick Abbot Habit. Download Global Player from your favourite app store, and you'll find it in amongst the Global Original Podcasts. If you do a search on my name, it's the easiest way to get there. Or if you don't do that sort of thing by phone, or if, like me, you're an idiot, you bought a second-hand phone and it doesn't work anymore, then maybe your computer works. If your computer works, then point it at an internet near you and ask for it by name, the Nick Abbot Habit. If your computer doesn't work, then I'm just fresh out of suggestions.
This is LBC. LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Everything is going extremely well.
You bet your life it is. Nick texts, Steve Allen's got loads of used phones. Mump one off him. What does mump mean? He's got lots of used phones. What, like he's got lots of used socks? Does he buy a new phone every day and then just throw it away? He's got too much money. Tony texts, please stop doing the weather. It's boring. Thanks. Oh, God. A critic. Or a request, really. This is not a request show, Tony. You want a request played for you? Go ask Anne-Marie Minhall. She'll play you something delightful. And it's not boring. The weather isn't boring. The weather is constantly changing and interesting to the people of Great Britain. Traitor. Ron texts, your phone doesn't work. Your newer old car is presumably still broken. Yes. You need a holiday. See you in Bournemouth next week, says Ron. Well, I can't afford to go to Bournemouth because it costs £100 to get there. £100 to get to Bournemouth and back. Why? I've got no idea. It costs like £15 to get to Brighton, and it's pretty much next door. Why does it cost £100 to go to Bournemouth? Is it because our excellent railway system is actually not all competing with each other for the benefit of the consumer? It's just a series of monopolies. Thanks a lot, Maggie. No, I went to Hastings because it's cheaper. It's actually very good, Hastings. They've got 2 funiculars there. I've been up one of the funiculars, so I thought I'd go up the other one where the ruin is on the top of the hill there. And the funicular doesn't work. They probably bought that second hand. So I had to walk up the steps. I think that there's as many steps as have ever been invented between the ground and the top of that hill. It just goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And when you think it can't possibly go up anymore, it goes up some more. Still, on the plus side, buns of steel. It's a very good view when you get up there. Hastings, I recommend it. Graham says, I think you should get more Bible-believing Christians on like Ken. He's just concerned for your soul. I love his fervour, says Graham. Which part of the body is the fervour, Graham? Here's a call in Enfield. Hello, Jackie.
Oh, hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm great, mate.
Oh, I've missed you.
Well, I've been over here. Where have you been?
Yes. Well, I've been all around the world.
Have you? Really?
I'm back now, yeah.
You're
I'm back now.
Right.
I'm back with a vengeance.
Well, where did you go?
I went to New York. I went to Greece. Oh, that's it, really. I'm off somewhere else next month, but,
Right.
I haven't been yet.
Well,
so.
depending on the route that you took, that could actually have been all around the world. New York, Greece. That's a very odd combination.
Depending on how you go around it, I suppose, yeah.
So you went from one directly to the other?
No, I came home first.
Ah, right.
So I wasn't really. You were talking about your phone, that you don't know, you know, it's broken and you can't. Oh, my God.
What?
Don't you feel lost without your phone?
Well, I feel, see, if I switch it on to find out how much charge it's got, then it'll lose some of its 19% charge. And that's a worryingly small amount. See, if kids saw their phone had 19% charge, they'd freak. So it does mean that I have a phone, but I can't actually use it.
Yes. Yes. It's very annoying, and it's very, you feel very lost without it.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it.
Yeah. Well, I gave my phone to a nice man who came over who said he was going to fix it, and he sat in his van for an hour outside the house, and just handing it over felt a bit alarming. It was like handing over a piece of me. You know? And he just walked away. He just walked away with it, and I thought, no, come back.
Yes. Well, I had to give my iPhone in to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I actually felt totally lost until it came back today.
Now, is that because you didn't? Is that because you didn't know where you were?
Yes.
Without your sat nav.
I thought I was still in New York.
Right.
No, it's you get used to these gadgets, and then when you don't have them,
it's worse than that, Jackie. It's not that you get used to it; you get utterly addicted and dependent upon it.
Dependent, that's it. Yeah, we get dependent, and I just had no contact with anybody because I went back to my old little thing that you press this and you press that, and you don't know what you're doing. And I thought, my God, what am I doing?
Absolutely no idea
iPhone.
what you're talking about right now.
The old little Samsung, the old...
Oh, the one that had buttons, as opposed to... Right, oh, okay. Now we're talking ancient history now. Phones used to have buttons, kids. It's worse than that. They used to have a dial.
Prehistoric.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
I can remember that when in an emergency you had to dial 999, which was also, coincidentally, the longest number to dial on an old rotary dial phone. Why, if it was an emergency, did they make it last so long that you had to? It was like 5 minutes. You would be dead in an emergency before you'd got the last 9 out.
Yes. But the newer ones of those were all buttons, weren't they? So you could just 999. The other one was it went round and it had to come back and then round again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just described. Are you listening to this show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they took those away. Well, they didn't take them away, but the I don't know how old you are, and I don't care, frankly, Jackie, because we're talking about me. But I can remember when the trim phone came in. You remember that?
Yes.
They were. I mean, it was an interesting design change, but they were absolutely rubbish because the one thing that the trim phone didn't have was any weight. And so you picked up the receiver and put it to your ear, and then the phone flew off the table towards you every time.
Yeah, they're really...
And you tell that to the kids today?
I know. You wanted to know about all the temperature, what the weather's going to be like in Scotland. Well, you'd be happy to know it's going to be hot.
Yeah, I very much doubt that.
No, 29 degrees.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that, Jackie. That sounds like fake news to me, but keep on keeping on. Thanks a lot. 0345 6060 973. Craig says, I'm in Malta. The filthy, dirty hot is on its way to the UK, so stay inside. Tape on the windows, paint them white, and don't look at the sun. It will get you. Chris says, nobody with a straight face can deny climate change is real. But I think it's far too late for humanity to affect change. The damage was done decades ago. Oh, please. That's such a pathetic mindset, Chris. Oh, it'll be difficult, so we can't do it. Oh, I can't be bothered. If I threw you into a swimming pool, would you say, oh, well, I could swim to the side, but that would be effortful. Oh, swimming is so boring. I'm just going to stay here and drown. Joe says, EU law says you have a 2-year guarantee against faulty new goods and 6 months against second-hand. Yeah, well, that ain't going to do me no good, is it? We're about to leave the EU. And I very much doubt that any new law that a Conservative government puts in is going to be as consumer-friendly as anything that the friendly EU came up with. Very, very doubtful. And anyway, I'd have to get them on the phone, wouldn't I? And there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza. But you know me, I never complain. Ealing, hello, Sharon.
Hello.
Sharon.
Yes, hello, first time caller.
Sharon.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, go on, Sharon.
Thank you very much for making my Friday night very, very laughable.
Oh, what? Well, is that an insult?
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, because
right.
I've been listening. I listened the other week and I thought, shall I call in? And I can't.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you. I'm the lady that was just on before.
You're the lady that was just on before?
No, I'm talking about the lady. Don't start with me now. Come on.
I don't know. You come on here, you say this show is laughable. I'm borderline insulted. Go on.
No, it's absolutely funny with the phone and the lady that was on just a minute ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Thanks, Sharon.
And, I've not finished yet.
Oh, well, get on with it then.
We're talking about the mobile phones and everything, and, I remember when we didn't have mobile phones, we just go to the phone box.
Yeah.
And they used to have them telephone books.
Yes,
in
they
the phone
did.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
we
you
managed
if you ever
fine
needed to make
without
if you ever needed to make a phone call or to relieve yourself in an emergency, you always used to
You'd go in
head
a phone box.
straight to the phone box. Yeah, go in a phone box. Exactly right.
And the windows used to steam up. Yes, they did.
They did. Yeah, I think that's what the post office's old slogan was: "Go in a phone box."
But we used to manage. Do you know what? I phoned up, had a conversation in my mind, and now you've just totally thrown me.
Oh, I see. It's my fault.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for being so funny and keeping me up at this time of night.
Thanks a lot, Sharon. Better luck next time. Cheers, my dear. 0345 6060 973. Kevin says, don't tell us, we know it's Donald Trump night. It's Donald Trump night. Every night's Donald Trump night in Donald Trump's mind, which seems to be unravelling. Like I said just before the news, Donald Trump's mind is unravelling like a jumper. I'll say it again. I mean, I thought he was showing, fits and starts of borderline insanity, but I think he's lumbered over that line. Good grief, the stuff that he's coming out with now. And that's the man that we're pinning our hopes on? We've lost our minds. George says, genuinely, I would pay good money to see you and Ken live. Oh, can we stop the Ken stuff? He's sitting in there in his damp garret, fuming. Nick, it's £92.50 to Bournemouth on the train. If you, like me, tight and environmentally unfriendly, or, rather, if you are like me, 20 quid in my old diesel Saab. £92.50 to Bournemouth from London. Isn't that absolutely ridiculous? I mean, what is it, 100 miles? It's not. Can't even be that. It's not much further than Brighton, and Brighton's 15 quid. Why is it a best part of 100 quid to Bournemouth for one person? You could wait. I mean, where could you get to on a plane for 100 quid? South of France, Nice. It's just ridiculous, the railway system in this country. And because the bearded Beelzebub said that we should maybe think about taking it back, that policy is now apparently tantamount to doing a deal with the devil. Because Uncle Jezza said so, the Conservatives seem to be digging their heels in ever more strongly and firmly against. But that's what the people want. The people want the train system taken back, because it's not individual companies competing for our business on the same line, which would drive prices down. They've just been gifted monopolies. What a way to run a country, eh?
Dreadful.
0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday and Saturday night, Nick Abbott.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Well, the whole world's gone crazy.
Yeah, and on top of that, I bought a new, second-hand, obviously, preamp for my stereo, and my speaker blew.
Damn it!
You know, but other than that, everything's going super fantastic. Thanks for asking. Joe texts, well, this is the one I've read out already. EU law says you have a 2-year guarantee against faulty new goods and 6 months against second-hand. Well, that ain't going to do me no good, is it, Joe? We're leaving the bloomin' EU. Plus, how does that apply to Hong Kong, where I got my phone? Where did Hong Kong get the phone? From Latvia, if indeed there is such a place. Isn't that the place that you go through a wardrobe and you come out the other side and it's all snowy? Here's a call in Enfield. Hello, John.
Oh, good evening, Nick. The thing is, what I want to ask you, why are we talking, why London is burning at the moment?
Is
you know
it?
that there was a fire in a high-rise block in Notting Hill this morning at midday, actually at midday. They put it out about to 1 or 2 o'clock.
Did they?
And so on.
I didn't know. This is news to me, John. Where did that happen?
In Notting Hill.
I know you said that.
At midday today.
Yeah, what time?
About 12 o'clock. It's the fire. They managed to get all the people out. Fortunately,
Right.
you know, they were able to do that.
Yeah, but where was it?
Notting Hill.
Right, what time?
Very close to the Glenfield building.
Well, that sounds very serious. How come I hadn't heard of that?
Well, the thing is, you know, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of that and so on, and you want to refer to your colleagues and so on.
I
I'm
most
sure
certainly
some
will
of them
do
would have,
nothing of the sort.
Would have heard that and so on.
Right.
But the thing is, not only that.
60 firefighters battled a fire in a tower block close to the Grenfell Tower in West London this afternoon. Witnesses described flames going up the building before firefighters could be seen on a balcony dousing walls with water. Holy moly. Again?
But there was another fire as well, you know, in another part of London at the same time. But this one was the high rise, which was close to Glenfield. And the guy that was taken to court yesterday for actually.
Well, let's not talk about it.
Wait.
Wait. Let's not talk about anybody who was taken to court for anything. So, stop yourself, John. Just stop. Just stop yourself from saying anything further about anyone who was taken to court. But you just can't do it, can you? Just take a breath and stop saying that. London Fire Brigade said it was called at 11:39 to a report of smoke issuing from a building on Darfield Way.
Well, it's a government cover-up.
Oh, is it?
Entirely. And right from the top down. Except the fact that I did write to the Queen and so on, and I have had an indirect response.
Well, what does that mean, indirect?
Indirect.
What, like you couldn't score
daughter,
right? You couldn't score.
Couldn't actually
score a goal
supports
from
the older people.
Who?
Her daughter.
Who?
The Queen's daughter.
Right. Who's that?
Anne.
Anne who? So you wrote to the Queen and her daughter.
Oh yes,
answered.
about almost a year ago, and pointed out what is causing these fires. I know exactly what it is.
And
they want to ignore it.
And her daughter answered.
No, I had a letter from the concern that actually deals with negotiations that go wrong with suppliers.
Oh God, the Department for Negotiations that go wrong must be staffed massively.
Well, they're not. They don't have that amount of staff, but they don't have any legal people to deal with it legally and so on.
No doubt.
And these companies know all about that. They know that they can get away with it. It's all to do with algorithms.
Is it? Wait, what? What kind of rhythm?
Algorithms.
Algorithms?
Algorithms.
Oh, those
Algorithms.
Those kind of rhythms.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
Okay, all that scratching is making me itch.
That's what's running the country at the moment.
Algorithms, yeah. Okay, well, leave it with me, John. I'll send you a letter. I'll get my daughter to send it to you. When I get one. Cheers, mate. 0345 6060 973. Does this show make sense yet?
No.
Angela says, I like my old simple phone, but I can't program its date beyond 2014. Do you think it's time I got a new one? No, it'll be fine. Simon tweets, I can loan you a Nokia. The battery lasts forever. Do they still make phones? Nokia. And Nick tweets, this is an educational tweet. The reason you used to pay attention at the back, the reason you used to have to dial 999 was because the phone system worked on pulse dialing rather than the modern tone dialing. Pulse dialing, is that algorithms? It says in rural areas, tree branches could short the line and tap enough times to effectively dial a short code number such as 111. Right. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. But, I mean, now we know a little bit more than we did before. It is educational, this programme, isn't it?
Affirmative.
Every now and again, almost by accident. And Lorna texts, I am currently cruising around the Med, and apart from the occasional bit of buffering, you're as clear as day. Hurrah, she says. Or he, in fact. Lorna can be a he, or an it. Let's not be speciesist. Clear as a bell, coming in, clear as a bell. Let's have Uxbridge. Lewis.
Oh, finally, I got on the air. Hello, Nick. How are you?
Good, thanks.
You know, I spoke to Majid Nawaz in the week about Brexit, and I've had a change of heart on the whole thing. I can't believe the amount of chaff that spewed out from the likes of Priti Patel and Boris Johnson, and how we've been blindfolded. They pulled the wool over our eyes, and now they're going to see absolute chaos as it unravels in front of us. Not just for us Brits, but for our EU friends. And you know, I was really strong. I used to really egg on Brexit a lot, and I'm not ashamed to say that I think the whole thing is an absolute disgrace now. And if they had to call a second referendum, this is how they should do it.
A second referendum? You'd have to be out your mind if you want a second referendum.
We should have a second referendum.
Well, you know, this is how I would pan things. How things would pan out. So I'm just having a cigarette and crossing the road, gone for a walk.
Wow, that's three things you're doing at the same time. You want to be careful there, Lewis.
I just did 60 pull-ups and push-ups in the park. But anyway, moving.
Right, every time I do 60 pull-ups and push-ups, I always like to have a cigarette to,
Yeah, no, I think it's the whole point.
To really finish off the workout. Yeah.
Yeah, just undo all the work you've done. But look, if they had another referendum, yeah, what they should do is a people's vote for no deal, a people's vote for deal, and a people's vote for no Brexit whatsoever. Then that way we can get and maybe some other options thrown in there too.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that way we can actually get a decided view as to what's really going on in this country, and what's people's animosity towards what. You know,
everybody hates everything else and everybody else.
And I hate everything else, and everyone hates everything about me. And I'm driving down the road. This is how bad it is. I drive down the road, do deliveries. You see old men just muttering under their breath when they're staring at me. Look, It's awful. It's horrible. Everyone's so miserable.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just let this thing pass. Hold on.
Blooming driver who wanted to get past. Yeah, go on.
I don't know if you can hear that ambulance in the background. I was letting it go past, but you know. It's all a travesty, really.
Okay.
Your Nokia phone on another thing. So what happened with your Nokia phone?
No, I haven't got a Nokia phone. I've got another kind of phone. I bought second-hand from Hong Kong, and it seems to be made by made of 100 different bits of different phones that they just smashed together with a hammer.
Well, it's made in Hong Kong. It says it all, then, doesn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't say anything of the sort. I didn't think it was made in Hong Kong. I think it was made in South Korea with one of them phones. But it was sold to me as coming from Hong Kong, but it was actually originated in Latvia. God, that phone's better travelled than I am. All right, thanks a lot, Lewis, for whatever it was you just said. He used to be afraid, now he's petrified, there or thereabouts. Or he used to be for it, now he's against it. We never really did to get the reason why. It would have involved asking him, and never ask anybody anything, because the danger is they may tell you. Rob says, do you remember the party line on your home phone? You'd pick up the phone and somebody else would already be using the line and you'd have to wait till they were finished? Yes, I do. But there'd be no way of knowing when they were finished unless you picked the phone up again. And then it would seem as though you were... See, kids listening to this, they've got absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Telephones used to be so expensive that you used to have to share a line with the house over the road. And anybody under the age of about 40 is thinking, what? Yeah. Never mind about you've got the whole world in your pocket. And you get charged an arm and... I mean, never mind about... and you can completely forget about calling anybody in another country. God, you'd have to be a millionaire. Yeah, you'd pick the phone up and somebody would be yakking on the phone with somebody else on your own line. And so you put the phone back down again. or not, as the case may be. And then you'd have to wait till they were finished before you could make a call. But there'd be no way of knowing that they were finished unless you picked the phone back up again. Aren't you finished yet? Chris says, Donald Trump is humanity's last, best and only hope for the future. Well, then we're doomed. Because that man has finally and completely and utterly gone totally insane. Have you heard of his outpourings today? I mean, even his most ardent fans must be taking a sharp intake of breath. He's completely lost it. Malcolm says you could have a 4.5-hour flight to Tenerife for £100 and still have change for a pint of beer and a sausage roll, which I bet you could probably buy in Tenerife. A pint of beer and a sausage roll. 100 quid. So you could get to Tenerife or Bournemouth. Which would you choose? 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Matthew says, just before I go to the break, he says, never mind about Tenerife. You can fly to Venice for 56 quid. Or about double that will get you to Bournemouth. Mind you, they've got no rock in Venice, so there is that.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Nick Abbot.
I am not one of your fans!
Harry texts, I've listened to LBC for the last year and I've never heard you before as I'm normally drunk on a Friday night. Yeah, me too, Harry. He says, at first I thought you were Steve Allen and then I found you very funny. Can't be Steve Allen. Can't be Steve Allen. Oh, now, come on, people. Let's not start picking fights. Steve Allen is one of the towering greats of British radio and I won't hear a word against him. Apart from that whole throwing his socks away every day thing. That's just flat out ridiculous. Come on, Steve. We're saving the planet here. Trevor says, climate change is the biggest hoax ever. It rains in Glasgow, so that is total proof of this. Nick should join CNN and really go over to the dark side and be surrounded by his own beautiful echo chamber, says Trevor. Well, you certainly sound like one of those climate change deniers, Trevor. Here's a call in Wanstead. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
This is perfect timing. I've just made a very nice cup of tea.
Yes. What are you going to have with it?
Just a tea. But I put
Wait. Just a tea?
Just a tea at this time of night. Just a tea.
Nothing with it?
No. But I did have a slice of cake earlier.
Well, see now, but that's then. What are you going to have with your tea now?
No, tea to drink, not tea as in...
Yeah, no, I get that. But you can't just have tea.
No, I'm not going to be naughty and have anything else with it.
But it's too wet. It's too wet on its own.
I've just had an easy peeler orange. Is that any good?
No, that doesn't go with tea. Ugh, that's horrible. An orange with tea? That's disgusting. Why would anybody do that?
You sound like my dad. But no, that was very nice. That was very nice. He would say something.
You know, I had my hair cut the other day, and the bloke that was cutting my hair, he must have, I don't know, I think he was like 8 or 9 years old, something like that. And he asked me at the end, he said, because they give a discount to senior citizens, he said, "Are you over 65?"
Oh no! Well, I've had my hair cut.
Yeah, never mind about that, Sophie. We're talking about me. Are you over 65? He said.
No, that's terrible. Well, I'm segueing into the topic I rang up about.
I don't think that's the issue here. I think we have to sit a moment in silence and just contemplate the horror of my experience. On my birthday, he asked me if I was 65.
Well, I wanted to be the first one to wish you a very, very happy birthday. Now, I've obviously got my dates wrong. I thought it was the 24th. I think it's the 21st. No,
you were wrong on all counts. Better luck next year.
Was it the 20th?
No.
Am I wrong? When is it, Nick?
Well, there's not many numbers left. Go ahead. Give us a couple.
The 23rd?
No!
I'm convinced it's the 24th and you're just being obtuse.
I'm not being obtuse.
When is it then?
Well, like I said, there's a tightly packed bunch of numbers around there, and there's only one you haven't said yet. What is it?
21st.
No! 22nd! Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, Sophie.
You provided hours and hours and hours and hours of listening pleasure to me.
Right.
So I really hope you had a lovely birthday.
I did, yeah. It was excellent.
Did you have a chocolate or a cream cake?
No, neither of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and well, see, now I was satisfied with my birthday, but now now I'm unsatisfied. What the hell is going on here? I didn't even have a cake.
I had a slice of cake, and let's say, okay, then.
Yeah, again, we seem to be talking about you.
I'll have another slice just for you.
Yeah, okay, all right. Chew it up into small bits, then squirt it in an envelope and pop it in the post. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Sophie. 0345 6060 973. Jim says, forget for a moment your immaterial phone, Nick. Just rejoice that you have your full health back and in time for your birthday. What do you mean by back? I have my full health back. What does that mean? Al says, are you only on at this time to fill in a nothing time? Or to deal with the drinks or idiots? You don't really have a clue. You're too busy trying to be a comedian rather than host a radio show. This is the show, Al. I'll just pass over all the words in that you misspelled. And the fact that most of it doesn't actually make any sense. Other than that, excellent text. Thanks a lot, Al. When is this show going to start, by the way? I can't wait till that happens. Maybe it's the bank holiday thing. I think that people have actually been they have been ignoring the advice of the Met Office, which, let me remind you, is that the British public should not drink too much alcohol this weekend. Yeah, well, I think that ship's sailed and sunk. You're too busy trying to be a comedian rather than host a radio show. But this is the show. Oy. Oh, it's not what I was expecting. I don't like it. I don't like this, and I don't like that. Moan. How's your life working out for you, Al? Miserably, I imagine. Scott says the EU putting their South American trade deal at risk over the importance of rainforest fires shows a true decency. Why on earth are we leaving a union that values principles over profit? He's looking at you, Farage. He's looking at you, Nigel.
I'm a nutcase.
Yeah, that seems about right. What is it with populists? Trump and Bolsonaro, the Brazilian Trump. What is it with them and climate change? And just, it's not even climate change. It's just the nature in general. I mean, I know why Donald Trump doesn't like nature. I mean, look what it's done to him.
Oh, shut up!
But this disregard for the environment that just seems to go hand in hand with being a right-winger. What is that? As though they don't live on this planet. They don't have to breathe this air or drink this water. But they get special water flown in from another planet. I just am mystified. And their fans, of course, are just ditto heads. They nod along, yeah, whatever he said. Yeah, why should we stop polluting the rivers and setting fire to forests? Yeah, why should we? And they say it because I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, Donald Trump is encouraging companies to pollute the environment because it will make them more money. If they don't have to clean up their effluent, then they get to make more profits. And they've given him tens of millions of dollars in donations, the coal racket and the chemicals of businesses and all of that. So they give him millions of dollars in donations, and then he says, yeah, you can go and pollute streams. I mean, he's undone all of the environmental protections that Obama put in place. And not just because he wants to undo everything that Obama did, because, he's his much more popular predecessor, and he also happens to be black. It's not just that. It seems to be a campaign to do anything that's going to upset liberals. People who might be concerned about the planet, the place they live. You don't have to be concerned about polar bears and the retreating glaciers or anything like that. It's where you live. And people don't seem to be... They seem to be actively trying to ruin the place that they live. As though... I mean, it's like taking the rubbish and not putting it in the bin, just throwing it out the window into your own garden. Because, it's my right. I can do what I want. I just don't get the people who identify as right-wingers. They just mystify me. I really don't understand. It's like they've joined a cult. It's like they've all drunk the Kool-Aid. In moments of quiet contemplation, this is what they hear between their ears. I am genuinely puzzled at what's happened to the human race. It's not ignorance. It's willful ignorance. It's a determination not to understand the consequences of your actions. It might actually be worse than that. It's knowing that the consequences of your actions are bad for you personally, but doing it anyway because it upsets the libtards. The whole world's gone insane. But Donald Trump has particularly gone insane, and his latest rantings are just off the hook. I mean, even Republicans are saying, well, maybe we should pick somebody else. So I'll come to that and plenty else besides, when this show actually begins. God, wouldn't it be marvellous when this show begins? I'm sure it'll be much better than this. 0345 6060 973. Friday and Saturday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC. This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
Hello.
Hang about, Nick. Listen, now, what I'm trying to say to you is this, Nick, right?
Elton texts, please stop saying ew, as it's irritating me greatly. Thanks. Yeah, well, Elton, your constant sucking up to minor members of the royal family is greatly irritating me. So stick that in your rocket, man. I think we've got generations of people now who have grown up. I think I blame the parents, actually. Because when they were babies, they just whined and screamed until they got what they wanted. But that behaviour has continued because it has not been dealt with by the parents. And now we've got half the country who thinks that if they don't like something, it shouldn't exist. Peter says, regarding tree taps on the wire, is that a trunk call? Oh. Listeners with material. Oh, I am in pain. Catford, hello, Steve.
Hello, Nick. Yes, telephones. I've been reading a book. I know you hate books, but there's a quite a nice quote from John Lennon in this book, and he says that when American rock and roll started to come into sort of 50s Britain. I mean, the Beatles and all those Stones and all that lot were brought up in 40s and 50s Britain. The telephone didn't function in British life really, but then Chuck Berry was talking about telephones in particular Memphis, Tennessee. He's talking on the telephone to people, and Chuck Berry, Little Richard, all these people were talking about telephones, and John Lennon's saying it didn't figure in his life at all as a 50s child growing up.
Well, it was massively expensive. Only top households used to have one.
Yeah, and I remember when I'm kind of, I don't know. We got a telephone. I was about 10, and my mother immediately put a lock on it.
A lock?
A lock.
Oh, one of those little things that you used to put in the hole, in one of the holes, to prevent you from going past the stop. Yeah.
But there was no one for us to ring anyway. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we ever got a phone call for 2 years until my uncle, But it's so strange that now I can speak to you on this device I've got.
Like magic, ain't it?
It is.
It actually almost sounds like you.
But I don't know. It's. Do you remember Sylvia's mother?
Yeah,
remember that?
I did. Yeah, Sylvia's mother said.
Yeah, and it's all about a telephone.
Doctor Hook. Yeah, well, I just looked at the lyrics to Memphis, Tennessee. What a lyricist! Did he actually write this? It's a song by Johnny Rivers. Okay, so I take that back, but. Some of the lyrics to Chuck Berry's songs were absolutely fantastic, and this is a really good one. I mean, it's a heck of a story, this. Long distance information giving me Memphis, Tennessee. Helped me find a party that tried to get in touch with me. She could not leave a number, but I know who placed the call because my uncle took a message and he wrote it on the wall.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Last time I saw Marie, she was waving me goodbye with hurry home drops on her cheek that trickled from her eye. But we were pulled apart because her mum did not agree and tore apart our happy home in Memphis, Tennessee. So this girl is trying to get hold of him, and he doesn't have a number to call her back. And he's just called up Memphis, Tennessee, to see if he can get the operator to find this girl. This is the love of his life. Isn't that a sad story?
It's fantastic, isn't it? And isn't it wonderful that John Lennon picked up on that? Really, I mean,
in his condition,
But as a 16, 17-year-old, I don't know.
Yeah, the world is an orange. Never forget that.
Yeah.
That was one of his.
It was, yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks for walking us down memory lane. Cheers, Steve. 0345 6060 973. There you go. We've already done...
Rock and roll!
Only 70 or 80 musical genres to go. Eventually, if we keep working through it, around about midnight, we'll get to the hippity hip hoppers.
Whoop-dee-dee scoop poop.
Exactly. Rabia tweets, agar or agar is a jelly-like substance obtained from red algae. Agar rhythms is when you slather yourself in it and do the disco dance. Right. Well, you'd have had to have been paying very, very close attention to a call earlier on to have any idea what that was about. I know I don't, but I don't listen to this show because the host is too busy trying to be a comedian to do a proper radio program. Acton. Hello, Andrew.
Oh, hi, Nick. Gosh, I've been holding a long time, but I've been enjoying listening.
Whinging, whining and moaning.
Stop whining.
All of that. So do you want the tragedy or do you want the history?
Oh, history.
Okay, so history is telephones, because you were talking about telephones earlier, and I remembered my mother used to live in a place in Ireland called Baltimore, kind of down in...
Can I just be clear that when I said, oh, history, that was like an, oh, no, not history.
Oh, you don't want history?
Not suggesting that you start with history, but go ahead. You started, so finish.
Okay, so fair enough. So she used to live in this place called Baltimore in West Cork in southwest Ireland, and they had telephones. So her telephone number was Baltimore 59. And if you rang, you didn't... you'd get through to the switchboard.
Yeah.
You'd say to Bernard on the switchboard, Baltimore 59, please. And she said, oh, is that Mrs. Fletcher? And you'd say, that's right. She'd say, oh, no, she's with Mrs. Foy. I'll put you through.
Yeah, it's amazing how a thing, and I only know this kind of thing from watching old black and white films, but it is extraordinary how we used to keep in touch with each other. People used to write things called letters. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and they were so much nicer to get a letter than to get an email.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And this is how impatient we are as the human, as a species now. A letter used to be something that you would write, and it would take a week to get there. And somebody would read it, take a week to respond, then it would take a week to get back to you. So it would be 3 weeks before you got a response to your letter. Now, if somebody doesn't respond to your text within 3 minutes, people start unfriending each other.
That's true.
What's that?
That's my wife calling me. But can I? I'm gonna answer it. But
yeah,
listen,
put your wife on hold.
Can I? No, because she's going to hear me now. But can I just tell you the tragedy part of this now?
Yes.
Because our cat has gone missing.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the cat's name?
Sixpence.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sixpence?
Sixpence. And we don't know what the hell has happened to him. But...
might be up a tree?
No.
On a roof?
Yeah, but
have you gone through the neighbourhood shouting Sixpence?
We have... yeah, there's a website called... what's it called? Nextdoor. And I have just literally put a sign up for him. So if anybody has seen him... We're kind of desperate to find him, actually.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. Well, I hope you find Sixpence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, try me on Baltimore 59.
Okay. Keep me updated. Thanks a lot, Andrew. 0345 6060 973. Stephen tweets, I remember a time when my mum missed a family funeral because I was on the internet and they couldn't get through. That's right. It was an either or. In the bad old days, you used to either be on the internet or you could have a phone call. Not both at the same time. Are you listening to this, kids? Got no idea. Peter says, when I was a lad, we used to ring up the operator to tell her get off the line, there's a train coming. Oh, God. Half of these sound like they've come direct from a Christmas cracker. And Joan texts, has Donald really lost it, or if he has to leave as president because of mental illness, would he still have to face criminal charges when out of office? Yes. And that's the reason he doesn't want to leave office. You know, the other day he actually said that he might be president in 14 years. As in, he's taken over. It's a coup. I think he is actually completely... He was displaying traits that were alarming, but now he's just leapt way over the line. It's just really, it's concerning for the human race because he's the most powerful of us all. And the next recession is most likely going to be caused directly by his demented actions. Let's have Jackie in Enfield.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Jackie.
Hi, I've missed you. I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
And can I just say that you don't look your age?
Well,
whatever age you are, you don't
exactly.
look it.
That picture doesn't look my age because that picture was taken about 40 years ago. There's only one picture on the website of me, and it was taken so long ago. I can't even get into those clothes anymore.
So that's why you look good for your age.
Yeah, exactly. Because
like
I was 16 when that picture was taken. Yeah.
When is your actual birthday? Is it today?
No, it's the 22nd.
Oh, right. So it was yesterday. Oh, well, happy birthday anyway.
Thanks, Jackie. I did have a good day. Very, very good day. Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. So I guess I'll have to get into... this show hasn't actually started yet. What have I talked about so far? So I will start on the Trump thing in just a minute because there's just so much to talk about. God, at first I was amused, now I'm petrified. It is getting a bit alarming, really, considering his basket is where we put all of our eggs. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's at LBC. Friday and Saturday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
LBC. Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Nick Abbot.
I think he's betraying a quite stupefying ignorance.
I can't wait till Donald Trump meets Boris Johnson and the cameras are allowed in, because I want to see the dynamic between those two. I bet Boris Johnson just sits meekly trying not to throw an eye roll, just maintaining a straight face while Donald Trump just talks and talks and talks and talks. Well, I want to lock her up. I bet he doesn't get a word in edgeways, our bozo. Rob says, I've got a basic Nokia, 4 years old, cost 25 quid. I charge it once a month. All the builders I was working with today had the same. You drop them, they fly apart like stop car smash-ups, which was a very disappointing toy car game in the 1970s, he says. And then you reassemble it and it still works. I've got a Windows phone I was given, but I keep that for best, he says. Yeah, you know what? Best never comes. I turfed out everything in my wardrobe the other day. Pretty much everything I own, I have never worn, apart from in the shop. You put it on a hanger, and then you just keep it in the wardrobe for best. And best never comes. Tony says, last year I flew from Stansted Airport to Denmark for £74 return, but it cost me £75 to leave my car in Stansted Airport car park for 3 days. Wow. 74 quid to Denmark. Do you hear that, Donny? He's just cancelled his trip to Denmark, Donald Trump. Because they were very nasty to me. Donald Trump and Boris Johnson are going to meet in the G7 summit in France this weekend. And an event that is described as a meeting of mind. The gruesome twosome will agree to work immediately on drawing up a timetable for negotiations. Well, first I want to say this is going to be a huge trade deal and a great trade deal, and it's a trade deal that's going to be huge and great. Nobody saw such a great and huge trade deal, believe me. What's a trade deal? A source said the meeting will set out a series of deadlines for how trade talks should progress in the next 12 months. The PM and the President will then shake hands on the plan when they meet in New York in the last week of September at the UN General Secretary, the General Assembly, rather. That's assuming that nobody in the UN is nasty to Donald Trump. Shake hands on the plan. What plan? We're going to have a plan to shake on at the end of September. We'll agree on a strategy.
There's no strategy. I have no strategy. There's zero strategy.
First off, who's going to be working on that plan? That great and huge and tremendous plan? I mean, Boris Johnson has said all civil servants must be focused on Brexit. And even if they weren't, everyone's on holiday till the 5th of September, and then they all go off again for 3 weeks for what's called conference. There's going to be no one to make any plan with. Unless they're the types of plans that are vague to the point of disappearing in a cloud of hot air. It's going to be a tremendous and great and huge plan. Yeah, let's shake on it. And if we do, Trump will come out of the meeting thinking that we have agreed to everything he wants, including the things he hasn't even thought of yet. And when we say we don't want to eat America's hot dog ice cream, you'll throw a strop that you could see from the moon and start tweeting nasty things about us. Those British, very bad people. You'll say, I wanted to buy the Queen in a very good deal. It was a really good deal. Her Majesty knows that better than anybody, but she says she wasn't for sale. This is disrespectful for America. Sad. A source said both sides are in agreement that a trade deal is a priority and want to get moving quickly on getting one done. Yeah, there's just a small point. A little problem with that. Trade deals aren't done quickly. Ever. They take years. The fastest trade deal that America has ever done in modern times is with Jordan. Not the model, the country. That took 1.5 years. And what does America get from Jordan and vice versa? I mean, 1.5 years to talk about what? Jordan is America's 71st largest trading partner. They sell practically nothing at all to each other, and it took 18 months to ink a deal. The average trade deal negotiated by America takes 4 years. And America is our biggest trading partner already. I mean, the complications are immense. And he's already just started to throw his gargantuan weight about, telling us that the NHS is up for negotiation and that we must do what he says about Huawei and the 5G network, and we must do what he says on Iran, and we must toe his line on defence spending, and we have to do what he says on taxing internet giants, and we haven't even got started on the negotiations yet. He's already running this country. If that's taking back control, I'm a banana. And Trump and Johnson talk on the phone, apparently, or rather Trump talks endlessly about himself and Johnson just listens. And after their latest call earlier this week, Donald Trump says he believes that he and Boris Johnson are very much aligned and feel very good about each other.
Touch, feel, that's what I do.
And in case you think I'm exaggerating his whole tremendous and great thing, this is what he actually said. This is word for word. I think we'll make a fantastic and big trade deal with the UK. It sounds like he's asked a 5-year-old. What do you think about a trade deal? I think it'll be a fantastic and big trade deal. Donald Trump said we should do much more business than we're doing with the UK. We're going to have a great trade deal with the UK, and that's moving along rapidly. We should do much more business. In what? We already trade more with America than any other country. And the things we want to sell them, cars, the financial racketeering, machines, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, they're all the things that Trump wants to protect American businesses from foreign competition. Unless we buy BMW and Honda and make them British, we're going to be making cars for companies that Donald Trump is putting tariffs on. So how's that going to work? But some Brexit supporters believe a free trade deal with the US could help make up for any reduction in trade with the EU. And they think that because last year Britain did almost half its trade with the EU, and the US accounted for only about 18% of UK exports and 11% of imports. So there's a gap to fill, they think. But we specialise in the exact same things that America does, which Trump says that he will protect in order to persuade the voters in those companies to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, do you really think that he's going to sacrifice one single potential voter to do us a favour? Donald Trump's not that nice. And earlier this month, our international trade... Oh, that should be a pop quiz. Our international trade secretary. Anybody? Anybody at all at the back there? Liz Truss. Liz Truss flew to Washington for talks and said that a UK-US trade agreement is a golden opportunity and has made it her top priority. Are we sounding a bit desperate?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit desperate and needy. And pathetic. I mean, hardly making Britain great again, is it? To have to crawl across the carpet and be Trump's dog and agree to every whim and insane demand from a man who seems to be unravelling before our eyes. He stumbles through speeches whenever he's got to read them off a card. And when he does his stand-up routine and his, Make America White Again rallies, the last one, he repeated the whole first half of the speech because he'd forgotten he said it. He actually said he was the chosen one the other day while looking at the heavens. And he tells ridiculous lies that are easily disproved and just waves his hands at reporters and said, "Excuse me," when one of them corrects him. Somebody's keeping count at the Washington Post. He's over 12,000 lies since he took office. 12,000. He's on about 20 lies a day. And this is the guy that we trust to give us a good deal? We can't trust him on anything. I mean, he keeps saying his wall is being built.
I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall.
He hasn't even got funding yet, let alone building work starting. I mean, they've mended some existing fencing where it was already scheduled for repair, but no wall is being built. He said 186 times that his economy is the best ever, and it isn't, by any measure. And all the positives are just a straight-line extension of the progress made by his much more popular nemesis, Obama. I mean, you remember Obama, don't you? Yeah, that's him. Trump said over 150 times that America loses money on trade deficits and that China is paying the tariff that he's placed on their goods. Both total lies. I mean, he's retweeted or repeated so many crazy conspiracy theories about previous presidents and his own government and his rivals that if he wasn't the president of the United States, he'd be in a maximum security retirement facility for the verbally incontinent. And his embarrassing, sweaty, sad sack of a human being is the person that we're hoping will rescue us from the self-inflicted wound of joining the cause of whoever shouts the loudest.
I'm a nutcase.
Meanwhile, in among the grown-ups, Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer called for the Trump administration to stop over-promising an unconditional and unrealistic post-Brexit trade agreement with the UK. And Donald Trump's only doing it because it gets a round of applause from his immediate audience. Whatever desperate Brit has got on the plane to fly over there to, beg a favour from him. And whatever is negotiated is going to have to pass through the American government. It's not just Fat Donny that gets to decide. America isn't a dictatorship yet. And anyway, let's not get carried away that our new best friend, the schoolyard bully, is going to help us out now that we've left the security of the big gang that we used to hang around with. He's not going to help us. He's going to take full advantage of our desperate neediness. And anyone who doubts that clearly hasn't been paying attention. It's what he does.
Donald Trump is not a nice person.
0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday and Saturday night at 10, Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Oh, I'd love to know. 0345 6060 973. Richie says, from your LBC photo, you don't look a day over 64. Offensive. Giuliano tweets, you can thank me for the heatwave. I have a full house on Sunday, so I purchased a gazebo the size of Wales to protect my guests from the August monsoon. About as much use as your Hong Kong, Malaysian and Latvian mobile. Yeah, which has only got 16% on its battery now, which is alarming. I mean, you tell the kids today that you got 16% juice left on your phone and they'd freak. Teenmouth, Phil.
Nick, hello.
Hello.
I was telling your glamorous assistant about how I once got lost in the Fens. He didn't know what the Fens were. I think he thought it was some naughty act or something. But I got lost in the Fens when I was about 10 or 11 years old, east of Peterborough.
Yeah.
And with my friend, and we were cycling. And we found this amazing red telephone box in the middle of nowhere, which you used to find in those days.
Yes.
And rang the operator, and, excuse me, miss, we're lost. We don't know where we are. And he said, can you ring my dad? And we gave her the name of the company where my dad rang, and she eventually got through to my dad and said, Dad, can you rescue us, please? And she told my dad where this telephone box was, and hey presto, an hour later, my dad turned up in a truck and rescued us.
Wow.
So who needs location services on a mobile?
Well, yeah, that would. You wouldn't have got to the point where you've been speaking to a human being these days.
Quite. And this locked dial thing, I don't know if you're aware that when those dials were locked, you could, if you got the rhythm right, you could tap the thing on the top, the disconnect button, and force it to pulse. I was never very good at it. But
no, me either. It seemed like a magic trick. It didn't.
Well, a friend of mine was trained in Morse code, and we could always do it spot on.
Right.
And we were staying in these digs once, and they had the locked thing, so we still managed to order a pizza and all this sort of stuff.
So what would you have on the pizza? Please don't say sweet corn.
No, I'd have pepperoni.
Yeah.
Chilies.
Mm-hmm.
Olives.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, it goes without saying. I like a bit of chilli on there. Did I say chilli?
Yeah, you did. But two chilies twice, extra chilli.
Yeah, well, I usually for double pepperoni.
Yeah.
And I usually go for chilli, lots of olives.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes.
Well, that sounds like an excellent pie to me, Steve. I'll bring the beer.
Even Phil,
I'll Phil. Yeah. Can I call you? What did I call you?
Steve.
Yeah. Can I call you Steve? Okay. Thanks a lot, Steve. I'll see you at the phone box. Cheers, mate. Press 4 if you're lost in the fens. Dominique texts, we share the same birthday. I ate too much chocolate yesterday and I'm now fasting to compensate. Just thought I'd share. The thought as opposed to the cake. Yeah, thanks a lot, Dominique. Daryl says, you don't seem to remember being unwell. I guess that cloud of toxic dust that you inhaled must have destroyed your memory. Oh, that was ages ago. That was a really long time ago. I really did think I had done myself some serious damage because I was at the dump, the council facility, chucking away some bricks and so on, and I created a giant dust cloud that I inhaled accidentally, thereby shortening my life by a tremendous amount.
Stop whining!
And I think I mentioned it briefly in passing on the air for about, 6-7 hours continuously. No, but I'm over it now, or it's going to kill me. One of the two. Let's have Leicestershire. Hello, Angela.
Hiya.
Angela.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
What a disaster. But I really don't think people know how to understand him.
Well, it's getting more difficult every day.
Yeah, well, I've got an easy guide to understanding Donald Trump.
Go on.
Just go to Disney Pixar's Inside Out, watch that, and you will know what goes on inside Donald Trump's head.
Well,
have you ever seen it?
No, I have not. No.
That
puts me at a disadvantage, doesn't it?
Do not watch Donald Trump until you've seen this, because what it's all about is an 11-year-old
Well, don't
girl.
tell us.
Well, how do I explain?
Well, you can't
the
tell
fun of
us.
It's so fun.
Right.
When you watch it,
Yes.
and then you watch Donald Trump again, you will be in hysterics. You will totally get how he works.
Right.
You won't take him serious.
Well,
Yeah, he was a
initially I
danger.
didn't take him very seriously. Initially he was funny, but I think he's gone through funny and then became alarming. What with his whole, white power thing, and now he's just completely lost his mind. So it's got beyond alarming now.
Well, to settle everybody down, just watch this Inside Out from Disney,
right?
And that's his backroom team, not the White House team. You'll get what I'm saying.
So it's the various voices going on inside his head.
No. When you watch it, you've got to watch it because it's hilarious.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're giving me homework, Angela.
Absolutely.
Oh, but miss.
Every emotion's got a character, and these characters are fighting in his head.
Right. Well, that sounds about right.
It is absolutely hilarious. Watch it, and then think of Donald Trump, and you won't see him in the same light ever again.
Okay. Well, if I never saw him again, it would be too soon. All right. Thanks a lot, Angela. Giving me homework on bank holiday weekend. On my birthday. 0345 6060 973.
It has gotten totally out of control.
Totally. Deep Blue Ocean tweets, NASA say this year's fires in the Amazon down on last year, so why the current media hysteria? Because last year was a record-breaking year of Amazon fires. I think it was up 83% last year, wasn't it, on a normal year? And this year it's gone up again significantly. So I don't think that's true at all. This year's fire in the Amazon were down on last year. Well, that populist leader, the Donald Trump of Brazil, is encouraging farmers to set fires and burn the forest so they'll be able to make more money in the short term. And saying that it is impertinent of other countries to insert themselves into their business, which may be justifiable if you're insane. It's like saying, I'm in, and this is pertinent to today's news. I don't know whether it's pertinent, but it hasn't. But what I'm about to say has nothing to do with today's news. I'm not referring to it. Well, I am referring to it, but not in what I'm about to say. It has nothing to do with it. I'm not going to comment on today's news, but it is as though somebody is saying, I can do what I like in my own flat, and that's true. But not set fire to it, because that affects other people, which is what Brazil appears to be doing. They're setting fire to the lungs of the world in order to make more money tomorrow, and to hell with next week, which seems to be the right-wing populist way. Let's make money now, and who cares about next week? Certainly don't care about next year or anything other than our immediate gratification. Amazing. I think the human race has taken a wrong turn somewhere. Milton Keynes. Peter. He's asleep. Well, he has been waiting, about half an hour on the phone. Let's see if I can wake him up. This is the second time this has happened to me. Yeah. Hey, Peter. Are you with us? Still snoring. Deep breathing. He's probably lying on his back with his mouth open. This will wake him up. Nope. Hey, Peter.
Want to score some pot?
Nothing. Maybe he's dead. Maybe we're actually listening to his dog. This might get him to stand to attention. Come on, Peter, your country needs you. Are you with us, Peter? Anything? No, apparently not. So I'll get my glamorous assistant to scream down the line at him, and as soon as he's awake, we'll hang up on him. 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and if you're asleep, please make that first call to me.
LBC. Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Here are the studio calls flashing up on the indicator.
Yeah, some of these people are actually awake. Peter is still asleep, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Grace says, what did the hairdresser say when you told him you were not 65? My hairdresser's baby son thought I was 40 when I'm a young 37, says Grace. Well, there's no difference between 37 and 40, Grace. Get over yourself. A young 37. But 65, because you get a discount on your haircut if you're over 65, if you're a senior citizen. And so, shamefacedly, the way he asked did make me think, you've got negative reactions to this question before. He's probably been instructed by management to ask anybody that doesn't look like a teenager if they're over 65, because he didn't want to say it, but he said it anyway. Embarrassed. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think I look 65. But in my mind, I'm no older than 35. 35 sounds old to me. I just burst out laughing. Nobody's asked me that before. 65. Keith tweets, apparently somebody's flying from New Zealand to see Ed Sheeran's homecoming gig in Ipswich. Surely not worth the risk of deep vein thrombosis, is he? Good grief. No. Ed Sheeran. Isn't he over? Yes. Seems to be waiting for ages for him to be over. Is he not over yet? That busker routine? And Jimmy says, I think you suffer from dementia a little because you read some of the text twice, and an hour and 15 minutes after you've started the show, you still haven't got a clue what you've been talking about. Well, you've got a good point there, Jimmy. I only read some of the text twice because my glamorous assistant doesn't remove them from the screen when I've read them already. Yeah, not that I'm complaining or anything. You know me.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
Manchester. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Nick. How you doing? You okay?
Good, thanks.
Wonderful. Yeah, just want to say great show. And I think you're doing a brilliant job. And
But?
Yeah, in so many respects. A bit disrespectful, in my opinion.
To?
My humble opinion.
To
America.
To America?
And obviously Donald Trump. All I would say is just read $1. And that's what America stands for.
What does America stand for?
Well, just read $1. In God we trust, freedom. 13 arrows pointing in one way, the crest pointing the other.
Well, I don't have $1 to hand, Dave. Oddly.
Well, that's a shame, Nick. But I'm sure you have, and I'm sure you could get one. But anyway, take care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what a great call. He's reading money to us. You know, like a bedtime story. 0345 6060 973. Disrespectful to America. It's got nothing to do with America.
The American dream is dead.
Is a call from Barnsley. Xavier.
Oh, hello, Nick. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah. Nick, happy birthday to you, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
First time caller. I live in Notting Hill. I just here in South Yorkshire on holiday. And,
you live in Notting Hill?
Yeah, that's correct.
But you've left for the weekend with good reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I just migrated and chasing the weather, and it's lovely, fantastic weather here we're having. And it's very nice show, Nick, and happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and Donald Trump, again, like most callers, is what a nightmare he is. And what a nightmare is going to be once you meet with Donald Trump here with a little Boris Johnson. So that will be an interesting meeting when they two together and see what a disaster plan they are going to come up with.
I can't imagine it. My mind is all of a boggle. I bet Boris Johnson doesn't get a word in edgeways. I bet Donald Trump he does his whole... Every time he meets another leader, Donald Trump perches on the edge of his chair and puts his hands out. Have you noticed the way he uses his hands? It's to stop people saying anything. And he puts his weirdly small, sticky little hands right in their face to stop them saying anything, so that he continues to speak, and if nobody else gets a word in edgeways, then nobody tells him how stupid or wrong he is.
Yeah, and also on that line, had you not noticed he presented himself as the master of PR, which is a disaster.
Yeah.
Because you notice when he tried to give an impetus press conference or some kind of media interaction, he picked the worst spot to talk, like nearby airplanes or nearby aircraft.
Well, that's right. So you can't hear him, and you particularly can't hear the questions. That's why he has those chopper conferences. But you can barely hear what he says, but you absolutely can't hear the questions from the fake news media.
That's correct, and they tend to be tremendous and special and, trust me, I'm very smart, I'm a smart person. Another kind of jazz, which in reality is just, like you just said, he doesn't want to be challenged, so he tried to use that as a cover-up.
Right. You can understand everything that he says, pretty much like I can understand every word that you just said. And you're not even standing in front of a helicopter, Xavier.
Oh, thank you very much. I think that's a compliment.
Oh, no, well, okay. Well, we'll leave that on a high note. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Squid tweets, US-UK trade deal is dead in the water if the Democratic-controlled Congress feel the Good Friday Agreement has been compromised. Yeah. Also, if it will do Trump any good. I think it's about time that the Liberals, small L, stopped being so bloomin' nice. I mean, the Republican Party refused to deal with Obama on anything. Even the things that they actually wanted themselves, they refused to deal with him because he was a Democrat, and probably because he was black. They told him right at the beginning, we're not going to work with you on anything, they said. Stunned that he suggested that Obama suggested that the two sides work together for the benefit of America. They laughed and said, we're not going to work with you on anything. And then they spent 8 years trying to smash down every tiny little thing that he wanted to do. So, and now the shoe's on the other foot. Why on earth would the Democrats want to do anything that helps Donald Trump? Just get him out. Let's have Sheffield. Andy.
Hello.
Yes, Andy.
Hi. I'm just wondering why you're so jealous about, so jealous of Trump.
Jealous?
Yeah.
Why am I jealous of Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, I'm asking you, so.
But why jealous? It's a strange thing to say.
I want to know, because everything you see, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Trump supporter by any means, but everything you seem to say is about him. Get over him, you know, he's nobody.
The leader of the free world, the most...
Well, he's not really the leader of the free world.
Well, he is the leader of the free world, and the most powerful man on earth is nobody. Is that your assertion, Andy?
So you've made...
Do you want to think about that and call me back? The leader of the free world, the person we are crawling across the carpet to get a huge and tremendous trade deal from is nobody?
I'm not. You're calling him that, I'm not.
No, exactly. You're calling him nobody.
Well, he is nobody. You're making him somebody. You're making him... You're more
I am making Donald Trump, the President of the United States, somebody.
Well,
whereas he is actually nobody.
Well, you're the one that keeps talking about him.
So it's my fault. Andy, any moment now, you're going to tell me you're not stupid. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not.
Okay. At least we can agree on that. Wow. Donald Trump is nobody. Well, wouldn't that be great? Unfortunately, he is somebody. He's the president.
I can be more presidential than anybody.
Andy, in a week that I've heard some absurd things, that's the most absurd. You are the absurdest thing I've heard this week. Did you manage to dial my number yourself, or did you need help? Daryl texts, if Donald Trump ever does end up in prison, at least his clothes will be colour coordinated with his skin. He's never going to go to prison. People that rich don't go to prison. They just don't.
I make $400 million a year, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, prison's for the little people. Squid says, oh no, I read that. This texter says, Abbot. Oh, that's a bad start. That's a very bad start. Abbott.
Be polite!
Abbott, are you aware that Russia are the only country that are able to get to the space station that circles the Earth every 45 mins? What's that got to do with anything that we're talking about? Shall I reread it? Maybe I missed something.
No.
Are you aware that Russia are the only country that are able to get to the space station that circles the Earth every 45 mins? I'll add it to the myriad of things I'm unaware of, but also have nothing to do with what we're talking about on this super show. And Alan texts, absolutely stunned that a main channel media station gives a prime slot to this dull, self-indulgent presenter. I was led to believe that LBC was a conversation channel, but this is ridiculous. Like being at an embarrassing wedding speech. At an embarrassing wedding speech? You go to the wedding for the speech? Again, this kind of mentality of that people have these days, and I do think it is the parents who have just encouraged their child's every demand. We have a big problem with parenting, and it's not producing a quality in the populace that we should be encouraging. This notion that if you don't like something, it should not exist. I'll sum it up for you. That's what you get from the people these days. If they don't like it, it shouldn't exist. Talk about me-centric, Alan. You should have just put on that, on your text, me, and I would have got the gist. And Matthew says, can you stop using big words like pertinent and impertinent? Too many syllables. Yeah, okay, I'll try and shave a few off. 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. I still haven't got to Denmark yet. I mean, literally and figuratively. I haven't actually managed to get to Denmark yet. But also on this show, I haven't managed to talk about Denmark yet. And their nasty reaction to Donald Trump's absurd plan. You really do have to keep your eyes open 24 hours a day just to keep up with what the crazy these days, don't you? So I'll get to that in a while as well. Just at the moment this show starts, then we'll really start getting somewhere. 0345 6060 973. Friday and Saturday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
Hello, boys.
I really like you. Do you like me?
Paul says, unsure if you're still angry at the train. Well, he means that it costs so much to get to Bournemouth. It's £100 to get to Bournemouth and back. It just seems like an insane amount of money for somewhere that's just there. Look, it's just there. It's very near Brighton, and Brighton is £15 there and back. And why does Bournemouth cost 100? He says, unsure if you're still angry at the train. However, there is an app that will cut your journey up into smaller journeys, therefore reducing the fare. It's called Train Pal. I don't know if you can read that out on the radio. No, Paul, I can't. There's loads of those kind of apps that split your fare up into lots of little chunks, which bizarrely often makes it cheaper. But not to Bournemouth, it doesn't. I've tried that. It still costs £100 to get there and back, which means I'll never see it. Tom says, if Brazil's actions are killing the planet, why can't we declare war on the country, take over the rainforest and start a tree planting scheme to reverse climate control? It really is that simple.
I'll bring us into war.
And Terry says, is it even possible to show less respect to that human duckbill platypus Donald Trump than he shows to anyone who isn't a right-wing, homophobic, racist, gun-toting Bible basher? Well put. Yeah, exactly. Donald Trump knows nothing.
I know nothing.
0345 6060 973. Gravesend. Hello, Audrey.
Hello, Nick.
Audrey.
Hello. I want to get on to something different now because I know you have a lot of knowledge, and I want to find out something.
Well,
there was
you've come to the wrong place. Go ahead.
No, I haven't. There was a news item a couple of weeks ago. When you get all the news that's going on, you get it on 20 different stations and 10 times, 50 times a day, and the radio. And there was a news item that came on a couple of weeks ago, and it said the government has downgraded the NHS. I haven't been able to find out. I've never repeated ever once, radio or television, yet it was on the news. And I rang a couple of radio stations during the day when they had the news. They said, "Oh, never heard of that." So I thought, well, I'll ask Nick. I mean, do you know what's going on? The statement was the government has downgraded the NHS, and I still can't find out what it means.
Well, I think that they've downgraded some accident and emergency units in hospitals, haven't they? From a full-on service to a drop-in if you're feeling, if you've cut your finger or something.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then they'll twin accident emergencies between two hospitals. They make it one, so they downgrade it in that manner. But they've also, just recently they said we're not going to downgrade a couple of hospitals in London, Charing Cross and Chelsea and Westminster. I think they were going to downgrade.
That? Because I've
the internet, Audrey. The internet knows everything. Ask the internet. Have you seen the internet?
No, I haven't.
What?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the internet?
No, I'm not on that planet. Sorry.
Right.
I don't want to be.
Well, you're probably not missing anything.
No.
There's nothing on there that's
No.
remotely interesting to anybody. The internet's rubbish.
But that's what it meant then, Nick.
Well, I think so, yeah, because they're busy trying to save money, because apparently, despite the fact that we're the 5th richest economy in the world, they keep telling us that over and over again, and we're doing huge and tremendous business, we still haven't got any money.
No. I've had to wait 4.5 weeks to get an appointment.
With whom? Well, don't tell me names, but what kind of a person?
A doctor.
A GP?
A doctor.
A GP?
Well, yeah, I presume that's what you call them. Yeah.
A general practitioner, not a hospital doctor, not a consultant.
No.
4.5 weeks?
4.5 weeks normal
Oh,
surgery.
my God, that's awful, Audrey.
I know it's awful, but there you go. I said, well, I hope I don't die in the meantime, so I'll try to hang on.
Well, that's the
But,
benefit of a long wait time for an appointment. By the time your appointment arrives, you're either cured or dead.
Well, 2 years ago I had a heart attack, and I remember, I told you won't remember that, you've had too many people, but when I came out of there, they said you must make an appointment to see your doctor, and I had to wait 4 weeks then after a heart attack, so,
Oh, my God.
It's a lovely country we live in.
It's falling apart.
Yeah, I know, so am I, Nick, man.
So
Thank
are
you.
All right, well, the best of health, Audrey. Take it easy, dear. Can you believe that? It is amazing, isn't it? We haven't got any money at all in this country, and we are engaged in an act of great self-harm, on top of not being able to afford anything. We can't afford the army. We can't afford any ships for the navy. We can't afford any planes for the RAF. We can't afford any doctors, and we can't afford any school places, and we can't afford to fix the roads or the lights or anything. Struth. It's just, it's incredible what's going on, really. And through all this, at this moment, this dreadful moment in in the history of this country, on top of everything else, we've got this Brexit madness, where we've taken a gun, we've decided the best thing to do would be shoot ourselves in the foot with it. I am stunned. 4.5 weeks to see the GP. Can you believe it? Chris says, it's one of the things that this government does. It switches periods of great inactivity to moments of blind panic, where they try to fix decades of underfunding, and they'll start, for instance, like peppering the countryside with houses. But do they produce schools to go with them? Of course not. I mean, that would require joined-up thinking. Do they produce more GP surgeries in order to take care of all of these people that they've just installed in the countryside? No! Why would they do that? Is anybody actually in charge?
No.
Well, it's worse than that. There is somebody in charge.
Here we go.
We're doomed. Chris says, what's wrong with these people who listen to you and then whinge and whine and moan about you? You are my appointment to listen and for others, says Chris. Yeah, well, it's all about taste, isn't it? It's impossible to provide something that everybody likes, unless it's water. But people even complain about that. Water? What do you want to drink that for? There's no such thing as a show that everybody likes. But just because you don't like it doesn't mean to say it shouldn't exist. Get over yourself. But to write that thought down and then post it to somebody that they don't know is just mind-boggling to me. I mean, it really is. I just flat out don't get it. Would you also write a letter if something came on the television that you didn't like? I mean, think of it. Something came on the BBC, say it was Match of the Day, and you just hate football, and then Match of the Bloomin' Day comes on.
Boring!
Are you going to sit down and write a letter to the BBC telling them to change it to another programme that you would prefer? Take this football off. I want to see opera. Of course you wouldn't, because that would be crazy. Marion says, I don't know if you're getting my texts, but I hope so. No, Marion, I'm not. Take no notice of those unkind tweets and texts. You're a genius, says Marion. Wow. You couldn't be more wrong. But thanks. 0345 6060 973. Who's been waiting the longest? Merseyside. Eileen.
Hiya.
Eileen.
Hiya.
Come on, Eileen.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Thanks, Eileen.
Can you hear me?
Why, yeah, it couldn't be anybody else but you.
No, can you hear the song?
The what?
The song to you, playing Happy Birthday.
No, I can't.
Oh, it hasn't come through. Oh, never mind. Nick, I've got some jokes for you then instead.
But we don't take jokes, Eileen.
Well, I have autism and I taste colours. I ordered a blue steak and it tasted red.
Is that one of your jokes?
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, we don't take jokes.
I thought you would have liked to hear something.
Well, you couldn't have been more wrong, no.
What about,
no,
what you call a girl with...
definitely not, no. Not that one, or the one after, or the one after that. Particularly not the one you already gave me. But, all the best, Eileen. 034... You should have really told her that before she waited a half an hour to speak to me. That was just flat out cruel. Yeah, he's apologising, Eileen, but that probably doesn't mean very much. He's sorry.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's very apologetic. Bromley, hello, Paul.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Yes, Paul.
Well, I want to speak about the global change.
The what?
Climate change. Climate change.
Right.
What it is many years ago, someone gave me the number 350.
350?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you put it into the internet and you ask about it on the search, it says the most important number in a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
And then what it is it's where the climate change, that's the number it goes up to. It started in the Maldives with a man named Bill McGiddon, and he was explaining that there's going to be a movement, and this is what the movement is.
Yeah, well, I'm having a movement just listening to you, Paul. 0345 6060 973. Graham says, I don't know, hang on, did I miss anything there?
What?
I'll assume the answer is no. John says, is your star sign Leo? Well, yeah, of course it is. I mean, how many times has somebody said happy birthday? Of course it's Leo. It is supposed to be a bossy boot sign, are you? Says John. You know, like he's a seer. Your birthday is in August. I'm getting a sense that you're a Leo. Wow, it's like you're a magician, John. You read my mind. Callum says, my dad had to wait 5 years to get a hip operation. See, this is just not good enough, people. I mean, I know that people like the idea of the NHS, but it's the idea of the NHS that they like, not the actual it of it. Mayank tweets, Brits are such babies. It's like 50 miles to Bournemouth. Drive there and enjoy the town. It's not far at all. Yeah, I don't want to drive there, Mayank. I want to train there because I want to drink when I get there. I want to take a can of six-pack onto the beach and watch the waves come in. I mean, what else are you going to do in Bournemouth? And you can't do that when you drive. Can't drink and drive. Don't do it. And, well, so, hang on a minute. Let's see if there's any more I haven't got to yet. No, hey, I'm all caught up. I'm doing very well.
Affirmative.
0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday and Saturday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC. This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet @LBC. Text 84850.
Well, the whole world's gone crazy.
Yep, no doubt. So, Denmark. Donald Trump has now declared war on Denmark because, that makes sense. Donald Trump on Wednesday accused the Danish Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, of being nasty when she said his plan to buy Greenland was absurd. The Danish Prime Minister said, not only is your plan absurd, but your hair also. And you stand like a gorilla. She said you could try to suck at least some of that gut in. And what's up with the makeup? Some days you wear so much, it's hard to see you.
Oh, shut up!
The President of America told reporters on the South Lawn that her statement on the matter was nasty during a 35-minute freewheeling exchange. And that is now code for demented, insane ramblings. Whenever the newspapers say it was a freewheeling exchange, that means that he's completely lost his mind. Demented, insane ramblings to the tune of a helicopter starting up. They're coming to take me away, ha-ha, hee-hee, to the funny farm, where life is beautiful all the time. Where you'll get to gaze in the mirror and say...
Is he crazy, or is that just the way he acts?
Yeah. Both of those. Because Jaffa the Hutt actually cancelled his trip to Denmark because the Prime Minister said a nasty thing. Oh, are you going to be okay, Donny? And he said that he was so forward, looking forward to going there because that's where the 6-foot blonde women live. And his current model is over 25, so he's looking for an upgrade. It's going to replace you, Melania. What do you think of that?
I don't care.
Not remotely bothered. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said that she was surprised at Trump's decision to cancel his 2-day visit. But after the president publicly confirmed his interest in buying Greenland, her initial reaction was to call it absurd. And the very grown-up leader of the free world had a temper tantrum and had to be put in his cot with a bucket of chicken wings just to calm him down. This is what he said. This is word for word. I thought that the Prime Minister's statement that it was absurd, that it was an absurd idea, was nasty. I thought it was an inappropriate statement. All she had to do is say no, we wouldn't be interested, he said. OK, Trump fans, come on, defend that. A man who's, 86 years old said, she said I was absurd. Well, she's absurd. So there. And he just couldn't let it go. He just keeps going on and on and on about it. He said she shouldn't treat the United States that way. She said absurd. That's not the right word to use. Absurd. He said, I thought it was an inappropriate statement. All she had to do is say no. We wouldn't be interested. I thought it was a very not nice way of saying something, he said. They could have told me no, he said. All they had to do is say no. We would rather not do that, or we would rather not talk about it. Don't say what an absurd idea it is. Good grief. He accused her of insulting the United States with her response. She's not talking to me, he said of the Danish Prime Minister. She's talking to the United States of America. You don't talk to the United States that way. Not while Donald Trump's in charge. Yeah, well, she's not talking to America, Donny. She's talking to you. So he flounced out of his visit to Denmark, who had put up signs in his honour. Did you see that? They'd actually put up signs in his honour because they know what a needy, whiny baby he is.
I am the most fabulous whiner. And I'm a whiner, and I keep whining and whining.
And the Daily Mail asked Trump if he was looking at purchasing land from other countries, which I think is just trolling at this point. Mr. President, do you have any other stupid ideas you'd like to share with us? No. Greenland was just an idea, just a thought. But I think when they said it was absurd, and it was said in a very nasty, very sarcastic way, I said, we'll make it some other time. That's what Donald Trump said. He said, I love Denmark. I've been to Denmark, and frankly, we'll do it another time. Respect has to be shown to the United States. Really? Well, you first, Donny. RESPECT.
I'm president. Can you believe it?
No, we're still stunned. And he just couldn't let it go. He just kept going on and on. It's not because she was a woman, is it?
I cherish women.
Yeah. He said the Prime Minister used a terrible word. And then he went on Twitter to whine some more.
I'm a whiner, and I keep whining and whining.
And that's the real reason Trump doesn't want to go to Denmark. It might be because of the desperate neediness and vaunting narcissism that would make him wary of going to a country at about the same time as his much more popular predecessor. This may be the real reason he doesn't want to go to Denmark, because Barack Obama will be in Denmark at about the same time for an event for business leaders and about 200 students. Barack Obama is going to be in Denmark at more or less the same time. I mean, can you imagine the contrast between the screaming Mimi blasting through the place to a chorus of boos and the general feeling of elation that follows Barack Obama wherever he goes? So Trump had a massive strop, cancelled the trip, which was scheduled to take place in a couple of weeks. And everybody in Denmark is stunned because, they're used to dealing with grown-ups. Not some giant whining orange baby. It's just amazing what's going on in the world, ain't it? Queen Margrethe and the royal household on Wednesday expressed surprise at the sudden cancellation, while other prominent Dutch politicians described it as deeply insulting. Which it is. It's deeply insulting to a country that supported the US military in missions in Iraq and Syria and Afghanistan. And we should take note. Nothing about an historical special relationship means anything to the world's whiniest baby. And his people better not tell him that the ex-foreign minister and head of the Foreign Office Affairs Committee in Parliament, Martin Lidegaard, told Trump to please stop, that it was a diplomatic farce, and said Trump's behaviour was grotesque and he was throwing a hissy fit. That's what the ex-Danish foreign minister said. A hissy fit, Donny. And the Danish PM said, it's with regret and surprise that I received the news that President Trump had cancelled his state visit to Denmark on the 2nd and 3rd of December, or of September, rather. He said, I'd been looking forward to the visit. Oh, please. Really? Looking forward to it? Why, because he's a very nice person?
Donald Trump is not a nice person.
I'd been looking forward to the visit, said the Danish Prime Minister. Our preparations were well underway. We'd erected a sign and everything. It was an opportunity, I think, to celebrate Denmark's close relationship to the US, who remains one of Denmark's closest allies. The Danish PM said, I was looking forward to having a dialogue on the many shared interests we have with the US, by which I think she means sitting there listening to him go on and on about how big his win over Hillary was and how everybody's being mean and nasty to him. And if all of this doesn't sound warning bells in the minds of our politicians looking to rely on him for our economic future, then they aren't doing their job very well. You listen to this, Boris?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
If we're relying on him for a huge and tremendous trade deal, for him to do us a favour to secure the financial future of this country, then, I think I think we've lost our mind just as much as Donald Trump has.
I think Donald Trump is clearly out of his mind.
And when he hears that Boris Johnson said that, can you imagine the fit he'll throw? Or this, in fact.
I think he's betraying a quite stupefying ignorance,
said Boris Johnson of Donald Trump. If anybody has a tape of that, then they should definitely keep it to themselves. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble.
I would invite him to come and see the whole of London and take him round the city, except that I wouldn't want to expose Londoners to any unnecessary risk of meeting Donald Trump.
Can you imagine the sucking up that Boris Johnson would have had to have done after Donald Trump heard that? He just doesn't bear thinking about. I bet he had to crawl across the carpet on all fours and bark like a dog. Well, we'll see it when they meet. It'll be on camera maybe this weekend. And Boris Johnson will be sitting there looking like he's been hit in the head with a frying pan, just stunned. And Donald Trump will be perched on the end of his chair, waving his hands about to make sure that nobody else gets a word in edgeways, just going on and on and on, just filling the air with nonsense, just to prevent anybody else from speaking. And we're going to have a great deal. It's going to be a huge... Nobody ever saw such a deal. You know that better than anybody, and all that. That just constant verbiage that he comes out with, just to prevent anybody else in the room from saying anything. Andy says, we are going to see Brexit the musical and Donald Trump the musical at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. It's a real Mickey take and very funny. Well, I hope so. I hope it's not a celebration. Steve says, can you imagine how hard the job of the next US president is going to be? They're going to have to fix all of the problems that Donald Trump made and make amends with the world. Easy, eh? Well, I think the world will be ready. I think that the bar has been set so low, it will actually be a piece of cake. It would require no thought of any kind whatsoever. Just lay off Twitter would be a good start. And Dan tweets, our railways are pathetic. I'm going to start a crowdfunding campaign to fund our train, to fund your, as in my, train fare to Bournemouth. Your dream of drinking beers on the beach shall be realised. God, wouldn't that be marvellous? I can only dream of being able to drink beers on the beach. Actually, I've heard that Bournemouth is all sand, isn't it? Which is not conducive to sitting in your... Because I'm not going to take my clothes off, obviously, because that would be awful.
Disgusting.
No, I'm going to maintain full clothing at all times. So pebbles are actually much better for that. So maybe I should just say the hell with it and stick with Brighton. Be among the hippies in Brighton. Groovy. As opposed to the whoever it is occupies Bournemouth. The OAPs. Bound to be. Packed with them, I bet.
Nick Abbott on LBC.
Who do you think you're talking to?
I'm talking to Matthew in Hampton. Matthew. Matthew is communicating by semaphore. Yes, Matthew. Is there anybody out there? Too late. Let's have Hadley Wood. Deb.
Hello, Nick.
Deborah.
Just want you to know I'm not snoring and you're not going to get funny sounds down the phone.
Well, then you don't fit in on this show.
I did laugh earlier. Nick, I'm ringing up about Brazil.
Yes.
In Britain, let's say over the last 1,500 years, we have pulled down so much of our forests that we officially have 13% of the UK left forested. And interestingly, Brazil has still, to this day, 62% of its landmass forested.
Right.
So whilst we are despairing that the lungs of the world, i.e. the Brazilian rainforest, are deliberately or not deliberately being decimated,
yeah,
do you not think that based on what we've done, turning our nation into a land of agriculture, that we're a bit hypocritical?
A bit?
Well, 62% versus 13, it's a big difference, isn't it? And they're just playing catch-up, basically.
Well, yes, but unfortunately, what we did is for us and nobody else. Once we cross the bridge, then the bridge must be pulled up, and nobody else must make that crossing.
And that's why we're hypocritical, aren't we?
Yeah. But unfortunately, we're now at a point where we can't allow... or it would be deleterious to have other countries follow our lead. It's the same with China and their coal-fired power stations. I mean, our industrial revolution was based on the burning of fossil fuels, but we'd prefer it if nobody else's was.
Yeah.
But this is all; these points are all moot, Deborah. because according to the expert, I mean, if anybody's remotely interested in the opinion of experts anymore, which I seriously doubt, but if they are, then the destruction of the Amazon rainforest is a very, very bad thing indeed. Get David Attenborough on the phone and he'll explain it to us.
Is he awake?
I don't know. It's still ringing. He's not picking up. But it's okay to say, well, we did it, so they should be able to do it too. But it's just, it wasn't a very good idea for us to have done it, perhaps to such an extent. And it's certainly not a very good idea for them to allow it to happen at all. You know, much of it is actually our fault because the crops, of course, that the Brazilian farmers would be growing would be appearing on the shelves of our supermarkets. And they would only be burning down the Amazon in order to make those products more cheaply, which is what we as consumers demand.
Yeah.
But apart from that, everything's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, the weather's going to be nice this weekend.
It is. And I can't say happy birthday anymore because it's past midnight.
Well past.
But, no, I love your show, Nick. You are absolutely brilliant, and I never fail to have a good old chuckle.
Well, thanks, Deborah. Very nice of you to say so. Cheers, my dear.
Bye.
Ta-ra, 0345 6060 973. Javier texts, it is essential that the UK government start preparing the Army, Navy and the RAF to rush in food supplies and medicines and other vital products from abroad by this October. Ah, yes, that'll be that Project Fear that we've heard so much about. That leaked advisory notice, an internal government document, is being called Project Fear, which is asinine in the extreme because we were never supposed to see that. The people who wrote that didn't think that it was ever going to be released. Top secret. So it's not Project Fear. It's the opposite of that. Let's have Lowestoft. Joe.
Good morning, Nick.
Hey, Joe. What do you know?
Well, I'd like to say, I think to be a politician, you've got to be pretty thick-skinned.
Yeah.
For the abuse you get. But Donald Trump is the most thin-skinned person in the world.
In the world.
Well, I can't imagine anybody being that thin-skinned.
Assuming that they're not actually in a cot, no.
Yeah. But to come up with some ruse of buying Greenland, so he can get out visiting somebody.
That, when you wind the clock back and try to figure out what has just happened, that does look more likely that his whole thing about let me buy Greenland was an excuse to not visit Denmark at the same time as the predecessor, his nemesis, Barack Obama, because Obama is going to get a hero's welcome in Denmark, and Donald Trump will be greeted in the same way that he's greeted wherever he goes, with a chorus of boos.
And the blimp.
The blimp, that's right.
He carry that blimp follows him wherever he goes.
I don't know. I've never seen him and the blimp in the same place at the same time. I think that they're probably one and the same.
Yeah. And I'm just listening to your news report then, slightly different, about Boris Johnson sending asylum seekers back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But can somebody advise him that the only reason we're allowed to send them back is because we're part of the European Union? If we're out of the European Union, we have no right to send them back anywhere.
Well, don't mention that to the Leavers, because they'll freak.
Well...
All right, thanks for the bad news, Joe. Keep your eyes peeled. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. They'll also be very, very upset when the exact same number of people continue to come here after we've left the EU. Yeah, but don't tell them that either. They'll be very, very upset. Then they'll want a second referendum.
We should have a second referendum.
Daniel tweets, have you seen footage of Trump at the G7 where he pushes his way into the front of the group and the other leaders, where he pushes his way to the front of the group of the other leaders and puffs his chest out while the other leaders look at him and awkwardly fake laugh. Wow, says Daniel. Yes, I did see that. Heaven only knows what he's going to pull this time. What a pathetic man the leader of the free world is. Yeah, thanks a lot, America. But it's not actually America's fault, because 3 million more people voted for Hillary than voted for him, and he still won. It's America's screwed up system. And also the Republicans stole it. And Vlad the Insaner had a hand in it, in much the same way as he'll have a hand in the next election. I think it's the case that every an election, one of those electronic voting machines in America, was hacked in every single state. All of them. Every single one. And they call it a perfectly above-board democratic result. Yeah, it was like Brexit was. Both of them brought to you by billionaires who don't even live here. Many of them unknown. Vast amounts of dark money. And Vladimir Putin. Everything seems to be going very, very well if you're Vladimir Putin. Couldn't be going better, as a matter of fact. The West seems to be fighting with itself like two cats in a bag. Hackney, hello, Richard.
Hello, Nick. You've shot my fox a little bit in saying that Barack Obama was visiting. I think it's 25 days after Trump left, and the whole reason for him not wanting to go is because just the contrast would be too great.
I know, yeah.
But have you heard about the petition?
Which one?
There's a petition in New York. 100,000 people have signed.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes, this is priceless. Yes, go on.
To change a part, I think it's Fifth Avenue, to be renamed the President Barack H. Obama Street.
Yes. And that H, by the way, really important. That'll really piss him off.
As he said himself, look, if I'd have planned to be running for president, I wouldn't have made my middle name Hussein. Anyway, which would make Trump Tower's official address 725 President Barack H. Obama Street.
Oh, I really hope that they do that. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
I know. The woman who started it off said, I started it off as a joke.
Yeah.
And she's just learned how quickly a joke can get into a serious position of power.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm president. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe our society is just dying from advanced humor.
Oh, I just lost you there. Maybe our society is dying from what?
An advanced sense of humor.
Oh.
Because we all sit there and we all think things like, Boris Johnson, wouldn't that just be a laugh?
Well, we're not laughing now.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Actually, he's, of course, he had a haircut and he smartened himself up just a tiny amount in order to appear more prime ministerial. Mm-hmm. But now when he says things that are serious about serious issues, it's hard to take him seriously because he's got an entire history of being a clown.
Well, exactly. He comes on and says, like, I'm really worried about the world burning down. And you're like, yeah, no, when's the punchline?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is it something to do with Hottie? I mean, where are we going with this?
I don't know. He'll say something in Latin and then quote some Greek philosopher in order to ram his Etonian education down our throats again. That's what you're waiting for, the gag at the end.
Have you noticed? I mean, we've kind of given over to the extreme. I don't want to say extreme right. I mean, people who are not lefties. We've had enough of lefties. We're giving the other side a chance.
I think much of that is that people feel aggrieved that they can't offend anybody anymore. You know, like they used to do. When Bernard Manning, he was so great, that bloke. He just told it like it was. And he used I was going to say the P word and the N word and every other word that is associated with a letter of the English language that you're not supposed to say anymore. And he said them all. And people really miss the day when you could, call a spade a spade.
Well, I used to be able to call someone a right-wing nutter. And now I can't because they think I'm calling them a racist, swivel-eyed loony who sees nothing higher than their own mediocrity and has the intelligence of a tin of cat food. And I'm not calling them that at all. That's just British banter. You know, I mean, if we can't have banter, then why did all of our soldiers die for us to leave the EU?
But I do feel that that's partly what it is, that people can't express their fear and their rage, and people who don't walk, talk and squawk exactly like they do, because it's not polite anymore. And that is essentially what political correctness is. It's politeness.
Be polite!
Just being polite, just being considerate for others. And so that kind of gets wrapped up in, no, I don't want to be considerate for others, or anybody, in fact. And it informs every opinion. Am I interested in protecting the environment? No, of course not, because I'm right-wing, and that would mean taking care and being considerate of others. And so I'm ideologically opposed to that because I am a fan of Donald Trump. The whole world's gone completely insane. It's a wild overreaction to a few years in which we were encouraged to be more polite.
Well, the other thing is I do watch the way that people seem to have shot themselves in the foot, because the current government, their whole point was they wanted to get us as far away from, say, the EU as possible. What they've done is they've done something that Tony Blair or Gordon Brown in their wildest dreams could never imagine. They've made us effectively join the euro. We're at parity with the euro.
Well, that's
and in the
right,
same way that Donald Trump, who was voted in because he was the ultra-American, he was going to stand there, America first, he's now issuing decrees saying the White House Politburo demands that all American companies do not deal with China.
Honestly, if you had told me yesterday that Donald Trump would tweet, I am hereby ordering all American companies to find some other country to get their products and sell their products to, I would have said, well, no, that's a step too crazy, even for Donald Trump. But he just went and did it.
I mean, even Stalin phrased it a little more diplomatically. Come on, brothers, let us all disregard China, rather than I hereby order. I mean, did he add at the end of the tweet, by the way, tractor production is up 900%?
Really looking forward to that turnip crop this year.
Absolutely. That's all we're going to have, mate. Don't diss the turnip crop. It's the only thing we get from the US which won't be covered in chlorine.
Yeah, well, it's the cornerstone to any nutritious breakfast. Thanks a lot, Richard. 0345 6060 973. What was the actual quote? It's something of the order of, I hereby order all of our great American companies not to do business with China anymore. There or thereabouts. That's a step beyond. I mean, you can't talk your way out of that one. That's properly crazy. But maybe he just doesn't have any idea what he's talking about.
What do I know about it? All I know is what's on the internet.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Come on, we're running late!
0345 6060 973. Mal says it's always interesting how Trump mainly does his question time with helicopters buzzing in the background, so he thinks he can get away with unheard answers to questions. His administration hasn't had a media briefing in at least 6 months because his spokespersons can't stop lying to cover for him. It's 6 months. God, really? Because that used to be that dreadful woman used to just lie and lie and lie for him. She was excruciating. And the people before her as well. So they just don't do it anymore. Because the press will have the impertinence of saying, no, that's not true. So they just don't do that anymore. So Donald Trump has all of his press briefings you could barely hear a word he says, which makes it, of course, difficult to use clips of him speaking on the news, which is probably the reason that he does it like that. And you can't hear the questions. You can only just about hear him, but you definitely can't hear the questions that the journalists are asking. So, making it much, much more difficult for the fake news to say anything negative about Donald Trump. But it does seem to be what's happening at the moment, doesn't it? I mean, that's the way it seems to me, that a certain demographic, let's call them white men, older white men, are flailing their arms around like a 13-year-old, saying, it's just so unfair that they haven't been able to call out minorities since the 1980s because we instigated a small thing called being polite, also known as political correctness. It's just being polite.
Be polite!
And then they found that it was unacceptable to use the P word and the N word and the B word and every other word that's ever been invented that you're not supposed to say anymore. And because they couldn't use those words, they couldn't denigrate the minorities in society, and that stopped their ability to feel superior. And now they feel that their superiority is under threat. And after 20 years of keeping it bottled up, of not being able to say the things that they really, really want to say in public, shout them and scream them at the top of their voice, now, finally, they have a leader.
A president. Can you believe it?
Who says the exact same things that they've always wanted to say. And they feel emboldened. And that feeling has swept across the planet. Because the human race is about the developmental age of like a 13-year-old. The difficult years, which is what we've got right now. And that seems to be what's going on at the moment, to me, anyway. I mean, I say that I haven't really thought very much about it, but then, I haven't thought very much about anything that I say. But that's what it looks like to me. That's the rise of the right, and it is ridiculous and ludicrous and kind of embarrassing, really, that the human race has got that way. But with that ludicrous embarrassment comes some very nasty consequences. And, every now and again, the human race does go through a period when the consequences are pretty nasty.
I'll bring us into war.
And that may be what's just around the corner. Or Donald Trump may lose, and the next person may be just as good as Barack Obama. And we could be saved. Well, I guess we'll find out. Isn't it exciting? Let's have Streatham. Hello, Joy.
Good morning, Nick. Oh, my God. We need to have this specific show on 5 days a week, because Fridays and Saturdays just not good enough. I'm sick and tired of having withdrawal symptoms until Friday morning or to Friday evening when it starts.
You're sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Seriously, we need to have it on 5 days a week. Just you discussing Donald Trump. Nothing else. Just Donald Trump. Just keep hearing him.
Oh, I couldn't stand it, Joy. For 5 days a week discussing Donald Trump? No, please don't make me.
He's the best antidepressant. It's the best anything. It's just the best medication for everybody, especially your session with Brian. I might have missed that tonight because I started listening later than I normally would. When you describe what political correctness is, I thought, bingo, that's what Donald Trump needs. He needs political correctness because more than anyone else, so he can stop referring to everybody as nasty.
Well, Donald Trump needs to be treated like a 13-year-old who's having a hissy fit. He needs to be corrected and sent into the corner to think about what he's done.
He needs to be disinfected, just disinfected.
Disinfected.
Seriously, just put him on a notice stool because
Yes.
he's a little baby. Stick him on a notice stool and stay there. Just stay there until you learn to behave. He's worse than a dictator right now.
Yes.
Because the fact that he thinks he can just what was the word he used? I demand that no American company can. Are you for real?
Well, apparently he is, yeah. This may be a nightmare. We may actually not be awake, Joy, but I suspect that we are, and this really is real life, unfortunately. But he needs to be sent onto the naughty step to think about what he's done. Excellent work. Thanks a lot, Joy. Caroline tweets, you want to come up north and see the trundling tin ramshackled boxes on wheels, excuses for trains. 2 an hour if we're lucky, says Caroline. I could drag myself by my eyelashes to Manchester quicker. I've never heard that before. I like that. That's funny. I could drag myself by my eyelashes to Manchester quicker than that. Huh. This is a good moment to remind you about my podcast. If you like this, then you will love the podcast. It's a half an hour of amusement. It comes out on Mondays at noon. And it's the best of this show. Some of my favourite calls and some extra bits in between. If you download Global Player from your app store, then it is in among the podcasts that you'll find there. If you go to the podcast section of the Global Player app, then you will find that I'm in among there. If you do a search on my name, Nick Abbot, then it comes up real quick. And 2 things will come up. One's the whole show, and the other is the half an hour podcast. I recommend the half an hour podcast because it takes less time. If you don't do that kind of thing by phone, then you can point your pewter at it. Just ask for it by name and it will appear as though by magic. The Nick Abbot habit gets squirted up your life Mondays at noon, and I prepare to be delighted. Now, whatever happens between now and 10 o'clock this evening, well, blimey, it just blows my mind even contemplating it. But whatever it is, we'll discuss it when I get back at 10.